What is good, YouTube, and welcome to what is episode 1 of Under the Lights. This is my new series that I'm bringing as I document my journey to my first ever prep for my first bodybuilding shows later on this year. So today is officially day 1 of prep, and what I'm going to do is document every single thing that I do in the build up to it. So where I've been doing some natural bodybuilding for a lifestyle perspective over the last few years, I'm now taking it to the next level by competing in my first ever shows, and really just to say I've done it, see if I get the bug for it, and to really just test what my true potential of my physique is effectively. And over the last, I think, sort of 20 odd weeks or so, I've been in a growing phase, but today food is officially cut. So yeah, we're gonna just get to it. As I said, I'm going to be documenting everything I do in terms of my nutrition, my training, what my output is in terms of steps and cardio, and how I sort of base that around my job. So currently working in an office 5 days a week, 9 to 5. How I'm sort of managing the rigors of prep effectively around carrying a job, because a lot of people, for a lifestyle aspect, struggle to get in shape because they're just too busy with work. And I'm going to just basically prove that that is a load of nonsense, because if you want something bad enough, you will do what it takes to get there. We have just started the day. So today is Sunday, the 15th of March. I think it's 15th. With half an hour of cardio, so that's rounding off my cardio for the week. We have got a busy morning of client check-ins. Then I've got a bit of an interview / appointment for something. So although my current day-to-day is as it is, and as I've been shown on my Instagram, etc., that could all change in the near future, but I'll keep you all posted with that. Then I'm going to go and meet a client to just discuss the next stages of sort of their physique building as we sort of move into the next stage, and sort of what comes with that. And then I'll finish off the remaining check-ins in the afternoon, whilst also then getting myself ready for the week ahead with my nutrition, making sure food's prepped, and everything like that. And then watching the football, because there's plenty of football on later on. And up the Arsenal, another massive 3 points yesterday, and City joined points to West Ham. So come on, you Irons. The quad is on, baby. The quad is on. Now, I wasn't best prepared for the change in macros for today, first day of prep. So I've had to think on my feet a little bit in terms of making it work. So my food, as of yesterday, at the end of the bulk, was 220 grams of protein with 500 grams of carbs and 45 grams of fats, 55 grams of fats, on training days. 220 protein, 425 carb, and 70 grams of fats on rest days. But for day 1 of prep, it's been slashed quite considerably. So protein is still high at 220, and then carbs are 375 on training days with 45 grams of fats, and then on rest days, carbs are 275, so nearly half from what they were yesterday, with an extra 10 grams of fat, so 55 grams of fats on those rest days. So what I've had to do is just try and keep my normal meals in that I would do usually, because one, it's just force of habit, and they work for me, and it just makes my life a lot easier. But just adapt them slightly to fit with the change in macros. So where I might be slightly higher in carbs because of the meals, I'll adjust the portion sizes, and I'm just going to change 1 or 2 food groups to match the new macros that I'm on. So for today, because of my sort of plan of action in terms of what I've got on this morning, what I've got on later on, I've just moved my meals around in terms of what I would usually have. So I've brought back the introduction of yogurt again. I would typically have fat-free Greek yogurt, but it's Sunday and none of the supermarkets are open until 10 o'clock, and I simply can't wait till then. So the shop around the corner's got natural yogurt, which I'll have to make work. It just means I've got to adapt again the portions in some of my other meals to fit the macros. And then we're going to have 1 scoop of protein powder with some mixed berries, so 130 grams of mixed berries and a banana. And then that should be basically my breakfast. And then I've got my client check-ins, so this will tie me through the check-ins. The appointment / interview thing that I've got later on. And then I'm meeting a client for some food later on as well, which has already been logged into MyFitnessPal ahead of time. Hence why I know that it's going to fit within my macro. So a little bit of forward planning and preparation is just key for it. There's no real worries about the drop in food. Obviously, the impacts and the effects of that will come in as and when they do. But for now, I'm just looking to just maintain my meals as consistent as possibly, because I said they work for my digestion, they work for my energy levels. They're helping me to maintain good body composition, yeah, it's just going to be slightly less of those foods, I guess, over time. But yeah, the introduction of yogurt is back. It means that I might have to lose out on some of my favorites like the sourdough and things like that, but needs must when you're working towards a goal. So yeah, we're gonna just scram this, get the kettle on for black coffee, and then start our morning work.
And I think it's no coincidence that the change that we've made to your nutrition over time. So when we look at obviously all the food pictures that you've sent across over to me over the last sort of couple of weeks, with that accountability as well being key. These foods and these changes to your nutrition are having such a positive impact when it comes to how you're feeling, the quality of your training sessions, your energy levels. We know sleep is sometimes impacted because of being a parent, etc. But even making the small improvements to your rest and recovery is coming through the changes in your nutrition as well.
Now, with regards to my training split, that's still going to stay the same during this prep. I keep forgetting the name of it, or certainly to begin with anyway. So still got the traditional push-pull legs upper lower split, which has been the same split I've been on for the last 26 weeks or so. So you'll see on my push days, it's still got the Atlantis in, it's still got your pec flies, lateral raise movements. I've still got my RDLs, my main compound in my pulls. And then on my legs, I've still got the pendulum and the hack and the hip press as being the big compound lifts when it comes to those as well. And the aim is still going to be to try and increase those lifts over time, because one of the things that I think prep will bring is that psychological test of just believing that because you're on less food and output will still be high, that should then just cause high sort of output and therefore low energy levels. And therefore psychologically this can make you feel like you're going to have a really crap session and your lifts are going to drop. But I'm still going to go there with the same intensity, the same energy to try and beat those lifts. Because I think if you go in with that approach, you'll still surprise yourself with just how well you can lift. So tomorrow will be push as normal. Still looking to rack up the plates on the Atlantis, and still looking to maintain as much muscle tissue as possible. Because if you can still lift and train as hard as you possibly can, even when food has dropped, so even when you're doing, say, a cut, you'll still be able to maintain as much muscle tissue as possible. But if you go into your session thinking it's going to be crap because you've already told yourself beforehand, then you are going to have a pretty crap session. So yeah, nothing really going to change too much in terms of training. When it comes to output, I've still got 4 lots of half an hour cardio to do each week, with 10k steps as a minimum each day as well. Again, to begin with, this is going to stay as it is, but I imagine over time as we go through this prep that output will probably be increased the closer to show days. But for now, it's still as I have been. It's just that drop in food, which is going to take a bit of time to adjusting because I was rather enjoying 500 grams of carbs. But hey ho, this is where we're at.
Now, throughout the whole of the gaining phase, I didn't pick up a single injury. Now, bearing in mind, I'm pushing heavier weight than normal, training with more intensity than normal, pushing myself harder than normal. Didn't pick up a single injury. First day of prep, and my lower back feels stiff as anything, which is just typical timing, isn't it? Really. Hence why we are sat in the bath to have a little bit of a relax for the end of Sunday, so that we're able to hopefully go into first full week of prep next week. Still feeling pretty good with regards to training. Yeah, today felt a little bit hungrier than normal. And I think because I had most of my sort of carbs and stuff at the start of the day, it's meant that my last few meals have been relatively light. But that'll be fine. We've already prepped and planned my food for tomorrow, so I know how to mould tomorrow's nutrition, and then what that will typically look like moving forward for the remainder of the week. But yeah, generally speaking, feeling pretty good. I'm not going to, like I said, go into these next few weeks with this sort of negative mindset now that I'm in prep. I'm always going to just forget that I'm in that prep phase and just keep continuing as normal. I'm going to have some big changes to my routine and day-to-day coming up relatively shortly. So I will, of course, endeavour to inform you about how I'm going to approach that around sort of the prep and nutrition and training through that. But some exciting but different changes that are coming. But this is just, hey, the life of a natural bodybuilder. Things like this happen. So it's all about just adapting and planning around it, which I'm sure we will make it work. But that is episode 1 of Under the Lights. I'm really excited to document and use my YouTube channel as a bit like a video diary for prep and how I go about certain things and what I experience through that, what my thoughts and feelings are along the way. And I'm excited to bring my audience with me. I'm really hoping to get to at least 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do give the channel a subscription. We're 4 more away from the first little mini milestone of 50 subs. So give the video a like, make sure you subscribed, comment if you've got any comments for me ahead of prep. But until next time, peoples, I'm going to leave that for a wrap for episode 1, and I'll see you on the next one.